Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. The fish look. Oh, man.
Oh, we're getting
Chef's
new fish.
kiss.
Getting new ones.
Yeah.
You said fish when I was saying kiss, so I said chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're getting some new algae eaters.
All right. We got a lot of algae.
We do.
We got some new crabs.
Hold on.
No more crabs.
No, he's out.
Yeah.
We have no business having a fish tank.
What
That's
do you
correct.
mean?
We have no business with that.
Oh, it's fine.
I've told you guys this from the beginning.
We are. I don't know what we're doing in there, but it ain't
not
fish
good.
tanking.
Look at that. We got the water. Butler had the water schedule. We got that. They didn't die
Water
over.
schedule.
Well,
That's
we
the
were
first
gone
I've
for a
heard
week.
of the water schedule.
Well, remember, someone had to fill the reservoir, so Butler had to drive.
Never talk about the reservoir. We had to drive 31 miles.
from Lake
Three
Marion.
times.
Yeah.
I
All the way
appreciate him doing that. You know,
Just to put some
and today, you got in front of a bullet. Butler's killing it today, man.
Can we get like
Really doing a nice job.
an autofill, like another reservoir?
We do have an autofill. It's called Butler. 31 miles.
No.
Yeah, there's your autofill.
Let's do some weird.
All right, let's weird job it up. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday.
He called it Weird Job Wednesday.
Dad really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. We're not bringing back Bird Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour?
It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Mortgage Solutions. Brian Zymel sent me an email, an email the other day.
This guy's
Alright.
killing it.
That this is from a BDM's dad. It says, Brian, I must say you have the most kindest staff I have ever known.
Normally when the parents contact us,
I know.
it's to
No.
cancel the BDM membership.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've been in business for over 30 years, and Donna Marie, as well as the other staff, is the number one staff anyone
Donnie
could
and
have.
Marie Osmond work there?
Yeah, they
Donna
do.
Marie. And it says, kudos to you for picking and keeping the group of hardworking and seemingly loving their jobs people. And that's from BDM's dad.
Yeah,
That
super
use
happy.
Streamline. So it's Streamline Mortgage Solutions, streamlineflorida.com. If you need a refi, do it now.
And
while
do
the
what
rates
this
are low.
BDM did. Talk to your parents for once.
Yeah, yeah.
Call
Honestly.
them. Call them and tell them you love them and just go, I love you so much. Call Streamline.
Go on the BDM page and just ask who's used Streamline and how was their experience. I'm telling you, it'll literally be dozens of BDMs telling you how good they are. And that's what's great about working with Streamline is they're such a good company that we barely have to do any work because everybody uses them.
Easiest
then
thing to talk about.
Refers them to other BDMs, and it's like we have had to do very little work.
I'm going to use them again, hopefully.
Streamline, yeah.
So, just give them a
It's
call
good.
because even if it's not right for you, they will make it right for you like they did for me. Brian called me, but this is before he was even a true solidified client. He called me like a year later when it wasn't like a good time for me to refinance. He's like, now it's time. I was like, how did you know? He's like, I had you marked in my calendar to call you when it was. Yeah, I do things the way I'm supposed to.
Listen, Brian does not mess around. Him and his team are really, really good. Anyway, so on the line with us for Weird Job Wednesday, Scott, how you doing?
Good. How y'all?
Good.
Scott, thanks for the time, man. Welcome to Weird Job Wednesday. You are our contestant and winner.
So, what's your job, Scott?
So I essentially import rare house plants from Indonesia and Thailand, and then I sell them to rare plant collectors in the USA.
Pot
Really?
dealer. He's a pot dealer, right?
I
That's
know.
what I heard.
Yeah. You're in the import-export rare plant business.
So it's rare house plants.
Rare house plants that only collectors collect. Yeah, I might be a collector. Might have been on a website collecting 5 minutes ago.
So, Scott, first off, why Indonesia? Why not everywhere around the world? And like explain how you got into this business.
Yeah, man. So Indonesia just because it's cheap there. In Thailand, it's cheap there.
Sure.
There's actually a really big collector market over there, and just due to the economy over there, everything's much cheaper. And even after I import it and put on all the taxes and everything that it costs to get it here, the markets are still absolutely fantastic.
So, are you dealing in like bundles of plants? Like,
I love that buzzword, bundles.
Don't bundle.
Like,
Get the bundle. You put your cable and your houseplants together.
are you bringing over a large quantity of one particular plant and then distributing them to a bunch of different customers, or is it like literally one super rare plant at a time?
So we typically specialize in Monstera, Philodendron, some Syngoniums, and other popular house plants. I mean, I've heard that, Tom, you're into Monstera, aren't you?
Yeah. I got a Monstera at home.
You should have seen his eyes light up when you started winging the terms around. This guy, he was like, "All right, we got a cowboy here."
Scott, can you just agree with me that succulents are BS and that they're garbage plant?
Why are you coming for the succulents,
Yeah,
bro?
man, maybe I just got into succulents.
If you want to be a real plantman, you got to get a Monstera or something that is hard to take care of, not just stinky old tiny cactus.
The succulents are for beginners, and we don't
Wait a
mess with
minute.
those.
Stinky Old Tiny Cactus was the name you tried to get me to change to when we started this goddamn show. He wanted me to be Stinky Tiny Cactus.
So, you can buy a Monstera and all the same plants you said around town. Like
Monstera? I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Monstera's in the morning.
Like,
Is that what you're talking about?
Wait
what
a
are you
minute.
doing?
you ever seen a house plant that has a big leaf with splits in it?
Yeah, I have seen splits in the
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, it looks like it's sick or something.
It's like a big green broad leaf with splits in it, and it kind of grows like a vine. But you've seen them in they're for fancier houses.
Wait,
expensive.
weren't there some in the... Okay, remember when we went to Mexico?
They're not some stinky cactus.
Remember when we went to Mexico, for Tiffany's... Well, we said it was for Tiffany's wedding, but it was really just to see Tiffany in a bikini her whole wedding weekend.
Yeah.
There were some in that atrium.
Yeah,
those
there
were those
probably was.
exotic, crazy plants, right?
There's a bunch of different families of that kind of vine and broadleaf.
So what kind of money is in, how much does one of these cost? If I
Well-
want to get a Monstera...
Well, yeah, back to my original question. You could buy these in the United States. I mean, they just had a plant show over at Lou Gardens that I missed. I was mad about because it was right.
No, I drove by it.
Mad.
No, I drove by
Missed
it. It was all gay bodybuilders with no mask on, hugging each other, waiting in line for plants.
That's
drove
what
by
I
it.
want.
I drove by it, and it
That's
was
what I want.
Super Spreader 2021.
No. Everybody at that place, they don't got.
They
the
don't.
corona.
Well, everybody was old, which was weird. They're all old, no mask, standing in line for some dumb
They
plant.
already got the vaccine. They're fine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But anyway, so my point is, you could buy these things basically at any nursery or wherever that sells plants for the most part. I mean, sometimes they'll have them at Home Depot and Lowe's, but that's kind of rare. So why go through you?
Good question, man. So the Monstera that you guys are familiar with is called Monstera deliciosa.
Yeah.
No, wait, what?
By no means.
That's what I like. That's what I
That
By
like.
no
sounds
means
fake.
whatsoever. Oh, it's real. I promise.
Delicious Monster. It's called Delicious
Yes,
Monster.
Monstera delicioso. Don't get it confused with Monstera suspicioso, which is my nanny saw.
Coming for your children.
Yeah, I'm standing by the corner. Anyway, so are you talking? So you get a different variety of Monstera.
You got it, man. So what we import is called Monstera albo-borsigiana. It's a variegated Monstera.
A variegated
many other
Monstera?
different-
So this is
Yep.
say it one more time. A Monstera
albo-borsigiana.
Aldo Borgiana. I'm going to make you an offer.
This guy's stoned.
So yeah, a lot of plant. I'm in a
Yeah.
bunch of plant groups that are just I'm high and I love plants.
Yeah, only one update a day.
That's what I realized when I got into plants, because it's super stoner thing to get into.
It is.
Like they sit there and you repot.
You know what's
plants
also
and,
a stoner thing to get into? Fucking video games.
ACT.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I told you I'd forgot.
So, what are we talking? I'm not familiar with the cost difference between the different Monsteras. So if I want your type of Monstera, like for instance, I do want to buy one from you, and by that I mean I want you to give it to me for some sort of, and I'll plug.
Is that a
Give him the old Monstera.
Okay. And then I'll plug your business or
delicious
whatever.
monster? Yeah.
But what are one of those things will run me?
At the most bottom line cost, just to get a cutting of a Monstera alba Borzigiana, you're about $300 plus shipping. That's my cost. It's standard cost across the USA right now. There's types of Monstera that sell for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So it's from $300 to $13,000 is the range.
Okay, so tell me if you send me, let's say I give you the 300 and you send me the cutting. How difficult would it be for someone like me with zero, like really experienced with that? Could you just give me a couple sheets of paper telling me what to do, and if I were mindful of it, would it live?
You put it in a White Claw cup with water, and it'll grow some roots. Then you throw it in a pot.
Okay, I can do that.
They like a drier soil, so you're gonna have to maybe mix your soil. They're a little more temperamental than a regular houseplant.
Is that right?
In an effort to make a sale, I'll say, yeah, that's right.
Oh, so it's more difficult than that. What do I got to be moving it in and out? In the sun, out the sun, in the sun, out the sun. Two drips of this vitamin, one drip of this vitamin. Ooh, mix the dirt. Oh, play the classical music for it.
They don't like full sun, so you could put them in your, atrium area.
Well,
or
my point is that why is this so hard? If all I got to do is write down what I got to do to it.
Yeah.
If you're just like, if you set a timer, like, hey, check your plant.
Yeah, as long as you water it and feed it, and you have the right. I mean, usually with them, do you have to mess with the pH of the soil and all that? That's where it becomes hard.
So Monstera alba are a little forgiving in that respect. No, you don't got to mess with the pH too much, but you do need to be mindful of it. So it's definitely not a beginner plant. I wouldn't recommend it for someone who has no experience. Start off with a Deliciosa, which is the normal form that you're used to, Tom. And then, you can work up to a variegated one. They're a bit more temperamental.
I could do it right now. Why are you trying me, Scott?
If I bought you
I'm an idiot.
If I bought you one, you'll keep it living?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I know what I'm doing.
Plant challenge.
So,
might be the most exciting thing we've ever done.
Scott, I follow a lot of Instagram plant pages.
He also follows a lot of Instagram fitness models.
It's all fitness models and plants. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that like some of these people will show off their Monsteras and like stuff like that, and
show me your monsters.
And some people have gigantic ones growing in their house. By the way, they're all rich people. By the way, there's not one poor people on this page.
And they're not doing it right. Don't they have a plant man?
They may have someone that does it, but these things are like
I'm the plant man, monster.
I'm not joking. They're climbing up the side of their 2-story foyer or whatever with like windows and stuff. And this thing is probably 13 foot tall. Like the leaves.
What's that cost?
Well, I was gonna ask you. Like, so those gigantic big boys first. How long do they take to grow? Like how much time in?
Great question.
And how much? Like you mentioned like $15,000, but is that what we're talking? Like 13 foot?
So as long as you're talking about the variegated Monstera, you're going to get reliably $300 per leaf. I'd say in a growing season, you'll get 3 to 4 leaves out of your Monstera. So I mean, you can do the math if you want, 12 leaves tall. Probably going to take you 3 growing seasons, maybe 4 to get there at a rate of $300 per leaf. And as the plant gets bigger, the price exponentially goes up due to the rarity of the size and how hard it is to get it to that plant. So a variegated Monstera that's 13 feet, it's one of those things where you set the price and whoever's willing to pay it is what it's going to go for.
It almost becomes like art at that point, right?
Yes, there are people who are hardcore into this, and they will sell off their house to get these plants. Yeah. It is nuts.
Yeah. People fall in love with you get into the plant people world. These people get addicted to plants.
I kind of like it. I mean, there's a lot of really bad stuff to get addicted to. Plants is okay, I guess. Yeah,
well, if you're spending all your money, well, it's your hobby. Better
than fentanyl, just on the surface.
Is that the most sought after plant, or can we get more rare? Ooh. Like what can you get me if I have an unlimited budget and I want some badass plants in my mansion?
Right now, the top of the top is considered to be the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. Very, very, very hard to come by. Bottom line, just to even get a plant, you're looking at $13,000 just to start. It only goes up from there. Very difficult plant to get, not an easy beginner grow. And in order to get it, you're probably going to have to import it from Thailand or someplace overseas, which, you know, takes a lot of liability into account of bringing that in, because a lot of stuff dies on these imports whenever you bring them in. I mean, you're putting them into a box for 5 or 6 days, and plants need light and water, so there's a lot of liability and risk that comes along with this, which is why you said it's really only rich people that are into this stuff. Don't get me wrong, people with lower income.
No, you can say it.
Scott, we're open here.
Yeah, we're open here. Look,
we're not hurting any feelings.
Sugar-coated. We shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
Poor people are gross.
Yep. And listen, you know if you're rich or poor, right?
You do.
It's not like you're hiding it. I
There's
know.
a test. Look at yourself right now. If you're gross, you're poor.
I'm getting the succulents.
It's easy.
We understand.
Yeah. Like, why are we so don't call them poor?
Yeah, don't call them that.
Facts are facts.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Oh, if you see
You're
a
not getting
person,
no monster.
if you see a person walking with a tiny cactus, they're poor. It's just science, folks.
So now, when you buy something, like say, Scott, I go to you.
That's 13,000. How big is that, by the way, just for the audience?
Yeah.
When you say 13,000 for this philodendron that's super rare, how large is this plant that you're shipping?
1.5 to 2 foot tall, 3 leaves.
God. Holy crap.
So when you get
this is one of the best weird jobs we've had, man.
When you get a $13,000 plant, do you hire, because like we have Top Shelf Aquatics come here weekly.
They are
amazing. To help keep our saltwater tank alive, obviously, because it's complicated. Just like all these things we talk about, like plants, and like you get to
it's
the saltwater.
It's really no different. It's a living thing.
And so they have to do a lot of maintenance. Do you have to hire a plant technician or a caretaker to come by and make sure that, because at
hire a graveskeeper.
Well, think about it, $13,000 investment, and you kill it. That's even if you're rich, that's hard to swallow.
I think I
right?
would be more worried about getting it back to life, getting it out of the box.
So, is there a service like that, or these people are so into it that they do that?
Just recently, down in places like West Palm Beach, I have seen that type of service become available in select demographics. They'll have a caretaker come in who really, really knows what they're doing and will take care of these plants. But a bulk majority, I'd say 95% of the people in this community are hardcore plant people, and they really pride themselves on taking care of these plants themselves, knowing the minute details of how to care for these things. But there is a niche where that type of job, where you can be a plant caretaker, is available, and I have actually seen it become quite lucrative in the last year.
So dude, that's your. You know, you and I have been obsessed with like our Twilight jobs.
Yeah,
and I always give you mine are always lame.
Caretaker.
Well, mine's always like homeless, living under a bridge or something. But I think for you, plant caretaker, you're driving around in like an electric van with maybe your boys, one of them at least, and you're going around and taking care of rich people's plants, and you're rich yourself. I think you could do that.
The problem is, first, in that equation, I am not rich because I wouldn't do that job. Because I just want to sit and be high, and secondly. The rich owner would be like, hey, that guy is high. He's been pacing back and forth, losing his shears. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be a horrible plant caretaker because I am doing what the rich people do, which is get high and then
just walk around them.
Look at your plant, mix around the soil, look up the pH, just mess with your plants.
Yeah, watch the wind blow its leaves.
So, Scott, how'd you get into this job? How, did you even take the steps to start import, export, or I guess just import rare plants?
So I've owned a landscaping company for going on 6 years, and landscaping money is decent, but it's not great. So I was looking for another type of company to start, and I love plants. I really do. Truthfully, one night I had a handful of beers, and I went online and started looking at plants, and I found one that I really liked, and I wanted to buy it. But the catch is they had to ship it from Indonesia. Got a couple drinks in my system, bought it. Probably wouldn't have bought it if I wasn't a little tipsy. Plant showed up. Over the next couple months, as I took care of it and I put it up on my Instagram, I started getting people messaging me to buy it at $4 or $5 6 times the cost of what I paid for it.
Interesting.
And it just kind of clicked.
This is an amazing weird job to me, because this is all like born out of him saying, I can make a little more money out of my lawn business. Let me diversify my company.
Yeah.
And you just used your passion to find something you're into. And so these people are hitting up your instant messages on Instagram saying, hey, that's a nice looking whatever the hell. I'd like to buy it for double, three times the cost.
That's about right, man. Yeah, we've also got an Etsy shop, but between those two and Facebook, we do a lot of sales on Facebook. I love plants, and between those 3 routes and my passion for plants and just a lucky night where I ordered in a plant and found myself in a position where I can make money, it's grown bigger than I could ever imagine, to be honest.
This guy just got drunk and bought a plant,
but
and now he has his
now,
own business.
That's business.
Importing rare
but
plants.
are there rules about you? Okay, let's say you're importing certain plants or getting them for, I guess, people that want to buy them from you. Are there rules about what you can import, what's invasive, are there those type of things that you have to deal with as far as getting these plants into the country?
Yeah, man, and that's the not-so-fun part of all of this. There's permits that are required by USDA, depending on what port the plants are coming into. They can either be real strict or they can be real lax, but there are some plants that USA just does not allow into here, and, you got to work around that and stay up with the trends on Facebook and Instagram and what people are wanting, because these trends change monthly. The it plant last month is not the it plant this month, and you got to be 4 months ahead of that, reading the trends and getting those plants in, because it takes time to acclimate in the greenhouses and, get to a sellable state.
What's the it plant for April?
Oh, man. The it plant for April.
It's my birthday month. I need
He's not going
to
to give away his honey hole information.
Well, what's the it plant right now? Is it the Monstera?
Right now, the Philodendron El Chaco Red is pretty hot. A lot of people want that. It's a form of varicosum. That's selling anywhere from $300 to $600, depending on the size of the plant.
So
this plant
Scott,
business is crazy, dude.
So about the Instagram plant people, because I follow this lady called I think she's like Plantarina or something. What is it? What is her name, Scott?
Plantarina. You make fun of me, and you follow a woman called Plantarina.
Yeah, so Plantarina.
I don't practice Plantarina.
Oh, God.
Because I started following her on YouTube because she would tell me how to take care of what I was getting into,
peppers.
How to basically propagate these different plants, and she'll explain it to you. I started getting into YouTube holes, and then I started seeing this lady's business, and I go on her site, and this lady is selling like all the fiddly fig and like the straight standards.
Yeah, the standard.
But even she's selling like a pot of pothos, which is basically a Florida stink vine that grows everywhere.
Yeah.
Look next time you're driving around, look at trees. You'll see these giant vines with these huge leaves that are green and yellow.
Yeah.
That's just pothos growing wild. It grows everywhere. It's invasive down in South Florida.
Yeah, wait till he gets the gauntlet.
She sells a bowl of pothos for $85 of this stink vine that's free. And so you start to realize, like, oh my
it's
God,
literally called the devil's ivy.
You know what you sound like? You know what you sound like my dad when the trend was beat up furniture that was like whitewashed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people were finding a way to sell things that other people thought was trash. But my dad's like, why would you buy furniture that somebody beat with a chain and stained incorrectly?
I mean, like a fiddly fig is easy as hell to grow. You could grow 100 in a greenhouse, and then you could sell a 2-foot tall one for $135. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and it basically costs you next to nothing to grow them.
But a lot of people don't want. If you like that plant and you don't want to do the work, then buy it. You got the money. I don't care.
Especially you live in an apartment and stuff. You want the house plant, and then these like
even if it's a bowl of moss or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, and then speaking of moss, you put some moss on top of the thing, fancy it up, get some sort of bowl from a planter from China.
It looks better than a milk carton and an old Vizio TV on a
So Scott,
cardboard box.
Is that where you want to get to? Like obviously Plantarina, she's probably making, what do you say, pulling $1 million a year or more?
In sales, she's doing well more than $1 million. There's no doubt about that. She kind of specializes in common plants, whereas our niche is rare stuff. Plantarina is a great vendor, a good lady. I have nothing bad to say about her. Her prices cater towards a bit of a wealthier demographic, I'll say that. So in terms of common plants, she caters towards a wealthier demographic.
Sure.
I don't know if I'd ever want to get to that size, but the company and the need and the demand in the market really is going to dictate that. The size I'm at right now, I never expected it to get to this, to be honest with you, so who knows what's going to happen in a year. If the market calls for it and they want more plants, I'll give them more plants.
Scott, why don't you just set up a greenhouse? Not to tell you how to do your business,
Yes,
but
this is my favorite part of Weird
maybe you want to
Jobs.
go in business with me. I should do a new segment. You go into business with Tom, and then we start our
can
own
we
business.
focus on our own
Yeah, I was
business
going to
first?
say,
This is
wait a
boring
minute, I'm the
already.
first contestant, right? I mean,
I
like, going to
mean-
business with Tom.
This is boring already. I'm bored.
Up first is Dan.
That's
Why
all
are you
right.
moving on to, what's this guy's name?
Scott.
Gary, Scott,
The
Jerry?
land crews, the advertisers, the BDMs. Oh, easy.
And it stinks in here.
I want to get some monsteras in here. We can start growing them in the
I
bathroom.
wish there were monsters so I could walk out of here because it smells like crap.
So anyway, what's to stop you? Is it just capital from you get a small greenhouse, you get 50 small monsteras, grow them until they got 3 or 4 leaves, then sell them for a boatload of cash?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, right now we have 10 greenhouses. We sell about 300 plants a week. We ship them out via USPS.
awesome.
Oh, you're
so
doing a big operation.
Yeah,
This is just
he's
okay.
doing
okay.
good.
I
buddy.
thought you were
Oh,
just.
yeah, I thought-
He doesn't want to go into
fiddly
business with
figging
you,
around.
Tom. He's doing good.
I thought you were Fiddly Fred. I had a couple of
How
plans.
dare you?
Had a couple plans in your spare room, and you're trying to hawk them on your Facebook
Yeah,
page.
I thought you were just.
I didn't realize you had a giant operation.
Yeah, I thought you were just a little leaf puffer. I didn't know you were Big Daddy Fiddly.
So you.
I try to stay humble.
So you
This
actually.
guy's living the life.
You're dealing some
Tom,
quantity.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
Let's buy one of his rare plants for the studio.
Oh, man.
And you have to try one of the ones that he thinks you can't keep alive,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we'll all collectively help you keep it alive and see if we can make some money. It'll be our money tree, the Tom and Dan money tree,
Yeah, when
and
it
then we'll
gets-
try to
yeah.
sell it.
At the end,
Yeah.
when this all falls apart, because it eventually will.
Sell the tree, sell the tree. There's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, I mean, we're insulting our advertisers for pooping in a bathroom. Don't
Don't talk about it. Don't talk
Anyway,
Who pooped in the
so what can you like that super rare one you talked about, or even one of those monsteras? What's the Tom and Dan price? You
on.
can get us one. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I know we'll pay
Oh,
something,
man.
but we want to get one for the studio so I could show these guys
Yeah,
and I could keep it alive.
You couldn't even keep
come
Greg
on.
alive.
If we
Well, I got a
really get
stinky
down-
IKEA plant. It stinks.
Yeah,
I
if
don't
we
want to
get-
keep grass alive with garbage.
We want to get that, and don't play the song and dance. Just let's get down to fiddles and figs.
Dude, when you don't understand, these plant people, when their monstera leaves, when they get a new leaf, they freak out. There's the plant nerds.
They start
right?
crying?
Well, because it didn't it unravels. It comes out like a cigar tube, and then it unravels, and there's a whole unveiling process.
Oh my
of it.
God.
And then people literally.
Is it like plant porn?
Yes, they have like an orgasm when they're like, "Oh my god, my monstera leaf fully opened." They freak out. That's how it is, Scott. Right? They're nerds.
Dan and Sam, you guys have no idea. These people, it's like a birth of a baby for them, and it's pretty cool. I enjoy it
It's
as
cool.
well.
It's
but
alive. I just don't think
It's
I'll
not
cry.
cool.
I
It
thought
is.
I'd cry when my daughter was born.
How dare you? It's not cool. There's nothing cool about it. Like the plant world is full of nerds. And
The whole
cat
world
ladies.
is full of nerds.
It's mainly cat ladies, but then when you get too rich,
Cat ladies are also plant ladies.
you know what? But cat ladies turn into miniature dog ladies when they get rich.
Yes.
Cat lady is a poor person game.
It is because cats are easier to because they'll take care of themselves.
Poor old ladies have cats. Rich old ladies have dogs. Tiny dogs that pee everywhere on their mansion. Everybody knows.
Everywhere.
That.
Tom, do you not have a rare plant right now, man?
Ooh,
How dare
this
you,
guy's
He's
putting you in the
mostly a
cold.
You
fiddly
trying me, bro?
fig.
Yeah, this guy's really
I got a monster.
You guys are having a fig out competition right now.
I got some.
I'm gonna whip out them figs. Let's see who's the big plant man.
Getting figgy with it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm trying to grow a
spine.
a,
Sorry.
a gigantic royal poinciana tree in my backyard.
Tree.
But it's a little cold here, so I got it in a 45-gallon pot. This soon, like in 2 years, it's going to be
2 years.
18 feet tall and impossible to move. And I have no plan for it. But anyway, so Scott, what can you get me? Tom and
get?
Dan price.
Hey man, if we can work out something, I'll send you something for free. But I'm a businessman. I need something in return.
All right, we'll give you any
I'm a businessman.
Look, Tom, just we'll give
Stop
any-
screaming I'm a businessman at each other.
Yeah, that's how he starts every morning. We will give you as many mentions on Real Radio as humanly possible.
Yeah.
As many as you want.
What do you want? I'll give you as many commercials.
Yeah, in fact, you can do the show. You can do tomorrow night's show. We'll give you 2 hours. It's plant talk with Jerry.
Yeah. And
Scott, with Scott. Yeah.
And you just
Deal.
hawk your...
Deal. All right.
So, what can you get me? A cutting, or are we talking in
Full
the pot?
plant.
Yeah. Because I'm not
So right now, mainly what we have are anthuriums, which are a little different. But if you want a monstera, I've got a monstera variegated Peru. The scientific name is Carstenianum. Retails for about $450 to $500. If you really want to get into this, Tom, I can get you set up with it at a reasonable rate, or you scratch my back and I'll send it over your way.
We're doing layaway on plants.
What if we do just $10 down, and then every year or every month I'll just
we'll
drive
make payments.
through. I'll just drive through with my homies and throw a couple more dollars on it.
And then if we stop paying,
then you come take my ribs.
Yeah, you do the awkward where you knock on the door and we're like, we're here to get. And we're like, I don't know, I know you be here. And then, then you come in.
I didn't have the tools. I have my old tires.
But then you come and it's dead, and you start screaming at me. You're like, so we're stopping now. So
then we can't let you leave the studio.
this is super fascinating to me. Now,
it is.
So, do you have regular clients that you deal with? Because I know.
Well, he has an Etsy account, so I mean, just regular people can.
Well,
buy
anybody
the plants,
famous
right?
ever bought a plant from you?
Oh man, I don't think anybody famous, but we do have regular clients. I mean, I get people who regularly spend, $800, $900 every month. It's funny because Friday rolls around and paychecks get distributed and our sales spike. They skyrocket Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, you can tell that people are saving up their money till payday, and they're really into this hobby. Friday payday comes around and they spend their money on plants. So, yeah, man, we got reoccurring customers. We treat them real well. We take care of them, make sure they're happy. If their plant comes in dead and they've been a good client to me, I'm sending them a new one because, they're the lifeblood of this company. So, yeah, reoccurring customers.
Go ahead and give out, just because, look, jokes are all fun, and you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. This is your time.
Yeah, he reached out to
What
us.
is your Etsy shop? Because we have a lot of plant people in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive, that really want to know, and BDMs look out for each other and check on our listeners, so give it out.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, guys, really. The shop name is The Green Escape.
The Green Escape. Wow, how'd you snag that? That's actually, I wouldn't have thought that was available. Well done.
You sound like a dispensary in Colorado.
You do. I went to the Green Escape.
I'm sure someone started a dispensary called the Green Escape, went to go buy the
right.
website. I was like, no!
Oh, no,
Well, it's an Etsy account.
Too
so
high to be
it's
pissed.
fine.
Yeah, too high. If he bought it, too high to be pissed. We already put it in our chat room. There you go, man.
So, Scott, I
Thank
guess
you, guys.
now you kind of leaked a little bit about how much volume you're selling here.
That's impressive.
And price-wise, but, what can you make in the plant game in 2021?
So I've listened to you guys for a long time, and I've been dreading this question because I knew this was coming. Can I tell you what our yearly sales are projected to be right now? Is that okay?
Yep, that's
easy.
825,000.
Whoa!
Plants up, man.
God!
Yeah, that's good.
Looking at his Etsy page right now, we can get a Chinese money plant.
Oh, we need that to grow money on.
My
That's how it works, right?
my pop-up had a joke about that.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
Wasn't Chinese, though. I guess my final question is...
Oh, no. He's got a gun!
The... how many employees and how big of an operation is this?
Yeah.
Because you said you have multiple greenhouses. Is this something you do with a couple people? Is there a team?
7 people total, and 5 of them are full-time, 2 are part-time.
Wow. And
That's more than we get.
That's impressive, man.
Is it just
He's got a bigger company.
Is it mostly just people taking care of the plants? And because they're so expensive, have you ever had disease or anything like that? Because I've run into that problem before where, they tell you to alcohol swab your shears, and I thought that was like being overly cautious because they're all like, make sure you take an alcohol wipe and you
just put a little black cherry White Claw on them and carry on.
I do the lighter. I'm like, I'll just do a lighter.
I used to do that. I was popping blisters back in the day.
And then I'm like, this is overly cautious. Then I'm cutting all the thing, and then disease crazy.
Oh, it's rampant.
I got canna rust one time, and I couldn't get rid of it. I had to throw plants away because there's no way to get rid of it. It's like once you have a certain type of bacteria and stuff, they say there's nothing you could do. You have to throw the plant in the garbage.
So do real plant people, it's almost like getting a terminal diagnosis. The plant's still alive, but you're almost got cancer, right?
Well, it's
the screech.
Canna rust or the other disease. Like that's the number one problem. Like bugs you could kill, but like when it gets to bacteria and stuff, hard to get rid of, and like these funguses. So have you ever got a bad fungus or disease?
So yeah, you're spot on, man. Plants are just like humans, and you got to squash a disease the second it pops up. This is Florida. We have insects. This is the interior foliage and landscape plant capital of the USA. There is disease for plants here. There's insects that will eat your plants here, and every day you got to be on the defensive. Rust does happen every once in a while. We'll treat it. Truthfully, the big problem is insects, primarily spider mites here in Florida. They will eat up your plants, eat up your profits, and battling them once they have moved in is an uphill battle, and it is hard, man.
God, you sound like, when you're describing this, you sound like you've come back from war. It's like, no, seriously, I like the passion and how serious you treat it,
Scott, how do you know? So now I'm just going to ask you nerd plant questions.
This is also 5 questions past last question. I just want to point that out.
Oh my God, we got to wrap it up
You're
soon.
good.
I get mad
Your show, homie.
when I start doing my plant research, and like I say, I'm super high. I'm looking at it, and then I'm looking at like, why is this leaf yellow? And then I look that up, and they're like, you're either watering it too much or too little.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, there's no other one.
It's WebMD. Now you know how I feel, because I go there for any ailment. It's cancer all the time.
And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know if it's too much or too little? Yeah, you just have to water it just right. And I was like, well, if too much or too little is causing the same symptom, how the hell do I know, Scott? Tell me.
So Googling, why is my leaf yellow is equivalent to a human being Googling, my stomach hurts. What is wrong with me? You're never going to get a straight answer. You're never going to be able to find out. The only way you're going to figure out is by taking care of that plant over and over again and figuring out what it likes. Anybody who tells you you're overwatering or underwatering, man, they have no idea. They have no idea. They just want to give you an answer. And truthfully, it's really hard to figure all that out, and it just takes time. And being with the plant and understanding what it wants.
See, this is why I hate the fact that you gave me plants, Tom, because now you've given me responsibility that I don't. The tomato plant's dead. That 100% died.
But you kept it.
I did get one plant. I did get one tomato out of it.
What was the one tomato?
But now I have the angel's trumpet that's done nothing the entire time.
It hasn't bloomed yet.
Nothing.
Where's my angel
trumpet?
You're
doing it wrong. You're not watering it right.
I don't know.
Scott.
Clearly, I got to spend more time with the plant.
Can you come over to my house and then?
Hold on a second. And sit on my hot
and then walk around with me and teach me about my plants, because I'm too lazy to Google all the information it takes to do this properly.
It'd be funnier if you had him push you around in a wheelchair.
I just want you to tell me when I'm like, how do I take care of this? Why is it yellow? What am I doing
just
wrong?
Get his number and just take a picture of what's happening, and then he'll just text you back like telemedicine.
Well, they got apps for that. Like,
but you need a personal guy.
Yeah. So, do you offer that
I'm
service?
on my way.
All right,
perfect.
Scott.
All right.
Well, shoot me an email, because I want to grift some plants from you and talk some plant.
Yeah, we're not done with you yet. Hey,
thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Hey, thanks for the time, man. And everybody in the chat room loved your Etsy shop. They said it's set up totally on point, and you might get some sales. We hope so.
Hey, you guys, you've been a blessing to a bunch of people in Orlando. Your show is awesome.
Well, thank you, man.
Scott, why'd you get all serious, bro?
We just said to the plan, man. Why are you going to be mean to him?
You've been a blessing. Have we been a blessing? Come on.
We've done a lot.
Done more damage.
What have we done, really?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. A lot of
But that's the same answer. But that's the same answer I give people when they think we've done something. I'm like, we've done nothing. It works both ways. You come to us, we're like, we've done nothing. But you could also accuse me of something, and I'll say I've done nothing.
It's like, how many masseuses did you hire to your house?
You can't talk about that right now.
21?
Too soon. It's too soon.
If it was 3, but 21.
Oh my God.
Anyway, all right, Scott. We'll talk to you.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Why'd you tell him, why you get all serious on this, bro? Why'd you pull his underwear up when he was making love to him?
You got to bully him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to grift any plants that way.
No. It's an old sales tactic. Yeah. You throw a neg out there, and then it makes them want to.
Because he thought he was in with us, but you were like, you're not quite sitting at this lunch table yet, nerd.
Yeah, because they're like, I'll give you my lunch if I could say, that's what I'm like, I'll give you my plants if you let me sit in, Then we do that, and then we get bored.
Fig. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. So when we were out in Colorado, my brother-in-law, Garrett, was there, and we were talking in the kitchen or whatever, drinking some White Claw, and he started telling me and Daniel about this phenomena in Miami where it's, and check this out, Samantha. For some reason, I never saw this when I lived there, but maybe it's because I was in the wrong part of town, or just the trucks didn't come by, or there wasn't as many back then.
Yeah.
In the 90s and in the early 2000s, but there is basically it's a ice cream truck that drives around Miami, but instead of selling ice cream, they will offer the service of sharpening your knives. And it's called, I wrote it down, La Philodendron. And I think, is that right? Does that have Philodendron?
That sounds right to me. I'm trying to find it now so I can play it.
Look up La Philodendron knife sharpening truck, Miami. And it plays this music like an ice cream truck, but the music, I think, is from a song called La Philodendron or whatever. And that tells the people, like, oh, the knife truck is coming. And then I guess, because we were talking about, well, what do people do? Run out of their house with their knives? Chase down the truck? Like, oh, here's my knives.
Philodendron. Okay, right?
How do you spell it?
Forjador. I think that's correct.
And they, I guess they're a bunch of, it's not just one company, it's a bunch of independent, kind of like an ice cream truck. You basically just drive around and then you sharpen people's knives and they pay you to do that. So we were laughing because I was like, what? I've never even heard of this. Like this,
I've never heard of that.
So apparently Garrett says it's like a Cuban, like in Cuba they have this. So it's like a Cuban thing. Maybe it's an island thing. I'm not sure if it's just specifically Cuba. But anyway, I thought it was fascinating. Then I started thinking, I was like, well, if there was a truck that drove around, because we were laughing because in the house we were staying at, all the knives were dull, and I think that's okay. Listen, here's.
There it is.
Yep.
Knife truck coming through.
That's it.
Run to me with your knives. I will sharpen them. I will make them laser sharp. I don't know. I'm doing a French accent.
There's Cuban knife truck.
Oh, it's amazing.
So what?
Oh my God!
Here's what my question is, and then even Garrett didn't know, is that do you run out and say stop, and then do you take all your kitchen knives and then run over? Because I was like, is this
you probably run out, stop them, and then go back in to get your knives.
Okay, is that
because you got to get out there and catch them first.
No,
then how much is it to sharpen each knife? I got so many questions that there's no answer.
Okay, where do you keep your knives?
Florida homeowners. If you have a power.
Oh my God!
My kitchen.
Get out of here! I'm not talking to you.
Oh, hold on. This guy's talking about solar. He looks like he knows what he's doing.
Sorry, I let that roll.
But so
out of practice.
But I'm wondering, is it primarily kitchen knives? Is it like...
Okay, Juan knows a lot a this.
Yeah, he's Cuban.
He's both...
Juan, call in.
Yeah, Juan, I think Juan would be able to help us. He is typing frantically. He said anywhere there would be Latin communities. So, I mean, there should be one in town.
I've never seen...
I haven't either.
Yeah. There's got to be. There's got to be one in Orlando.
Is this a...
I would use it, too.
Is this in Puerto Rico, too? Or is it like...
Oh, you mean like, is it is this like a
He
USA?
said Latin countries.
Yeah. Oh, Latin. Sorry, on my glasses.
So
communities is what I see.
No, he said anywhere within Latin community. Sorry, but he also did say this is not uncommon in lots of parts of the country. I think that's when you were asking if it was a Cuban thing.
Oh, okay. So this is a Latin community thing.
Well, everybody has knives.
Yeah, I know. Because then I started thinking about it, I was like...
Yeah, but my Latin friends make their own sausages, and they really, really cook.
The knife store in Brazil is called the Forjador Catalaria.
Oh, that's good.
I
think that's one. I got it.
Because I started thinking about it.
Hey, buddy.
Like, if a knife sharpening truck came down my street...
Would you call them?
Yeah, well,
I got your knives? Yeah.
I've got a bunch of dull knives in my drawer that I would probably walk out to them and I would sharpen my knives, and it's probably not that expensive. And to save me, who drives to the store to get their knives sharpened?
I don't want to take my knives.
I have a knife sharpener on my knife block.
I don't want to, but that's not a real sharpener. Yeah. I want a man with a belt on.
Yes, and a grinding wheel.
Is this Juan? I hope it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, how's it going, guys?
Good. So, Juan,
how do we get us one of these fancy Latin knife deals?
Why have I never seen this before? And you said in a lot of Latin communities, but is it primarily a Cuban thing, or is it that did it start in Cuba, or is just a thing in Latin communities?
I'm not really sure where it started, but I know that anywhere that they do the Cubans do the lechon requires kind of sharp tools. Argentinians do the churrasco, big cuts of meat, roasted over open fire kind of situation. So they need sharp knives, and also you don't have the luxury of going and buying a new knife every time yours gets dull in those countries. So that service is kind of more important. And there's a guy actually in East End Market that sets up a little stand. He doesn't have a truck, but that's all he does is sharpen knives. I've seen guys in New Jersey in the Portuguese communities that ride around on a bike, and they have all the tools on the back of the bike.
Whoa, knife bike's way cooler than me. I like knife bike.
So yeah, I know there are places, and I'm any outdoor store that sells knives usually offers that service. We'll sharpen your knife, but it's usually for your your
everyday carry. You give your Benchmade to Grandpa so he can sharpen it up, and you think you're an outdoorsman.
But it's brilliant to me too, because I'm it's a service that I would use if a knife truck would if I heard the music, I was oh my God, the knife truck's here. I would get my kitchen knives, and it would be awesome just to walk out, have them sharpen my knives, and then this would be awesome to do. But I've never seen it or heard of it. And it's a phenomenon that we never even talked about. So do you know what pricing, how much does it cost?
It's usually based on how long the blade is. The average length of a chef knife is 8 inches, so you probably expect to pay between $15 and $25. But those guys will sharpen machetes and stuff too, and they'll charge you probably $60, $70 for a big ass machete. Sorry,
and then you're good. You're fine. I already screwed it up today. And then you
okay.
obviously.
Well, that's hold on. $60, $70 seems like a lot.
We're gonna tip them. You're gonna tip them out too, right?
Well, a regular brand new machete costs less than $35.
Once again, you don't really have that luxury in the places where these people come from. There's just not access to new machetes. You have to continually sharpen your old ones.
Gotcha. Yeah, it didn't.
They're making their machetes themselves, basically.
Well,
oh wow.
Well, but I'm saying when you do this in Miami and there's a Home Depot down the street, you got to charge less for the sharpening.
But where would you go in Home Depot to get anything sharpened? I've never seen that.
You just buy a new one,
right?
Because a machete's $35 or whatever it is.
Is this proving that we've become an extremely wasteful society, considering the fact that we would rather buy new knives than get the knives that we have sharpened, right?
Yes.
No, I agree. 100%.
I mean, I just think it's weird that it's very weird that we got out of that, because to me it would make more sense to sharpen the knife than to go get another one, because I don't even know what to do with a knife. What do I throw it in the trash? How do you even do that?
Well, yeah, I guess then, like Samantha said, you get your own home knife sharpener, but it's not as good as the guys with the wheel and the
and then
grinding
there's ones you see online, on QVC, where they drag the knife through it, and it basically looks like it's destroying your knife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those things are terrible.
Yeah, like I wouldn't use that. And I've been told by all of like Juan and my other chef and cooking buddies, don't ever use that kind of stuff.
So, Juan,
people like the wheel is like kind of not really a thing that you'll see. They have like a series of flat stones, and the coarseness of the stone increase. Like you start off on a low grit, and you take off a lot of material, and then you work your way up the grits to like hone and polish the edge and then make it last longer.
So why are we missing a lot of the stuff that, like, what stuff used to come to your home that no longer comes to your home? Vacuums, knife sharpening, milk. Yeah, I mean,
well, it's funny because
we're going back to that, aren't we?
Well, we now in the future have everything coming to our home, but no services.
Right.
You know, like because everything's so cheap, made in China.
Yeah.
That we throw away our dull knives and just buy new stuff.
But there are new services that will come to your home, like mobile dog grooming. There's actual mobile salons and barbershops now. Like,
but they're for a higher end. Like I like the randomness of just driving around and then advertising yourself with music. So the people are sitting there.
Where's our grift truck?
Like, that's an old school advertising technique. Where
it's in my garage. Do you want it?
Let's fill it up.
We'll
fill it up with Tom and Dan's shirts, and we'll blast the El Mediocres, the music,
and we sell them out of. We should get an ice cream truck to drive around with our merch.
Done and done t-shirts, done and done.
Or we could do some knife sharpening in there too. We just need an old Cuban real man that knows how to sharpen some knives. Then we'll get Eric, our merch man, in there.
Juan and Eric can drive around the trunk. Juan, what are you doing?
Sharpen a knife? You're an old Cuban real man.
Yeah, what are you doing the next couple of weeks? You could drive and Eric can drive around Orlando blasting El Mediocres to the entire community.
Sharpen some knives.
I'm pretty sure there's no rules and regulations against this, so I'm down.
All right.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
We settled it.
It would help if we were in Miami, where there is actually no rules. And you can operate with no insurance, no business license, nothing.
Everybody like Pine Hill.
The whole chat room is talking about the legalities of everything. All of this stuff.
Listen, in Miami, there are no rules. Like, there's no insurance, there's no business license, nothing.
I saw the news over the weekend. Yeah.
Absolutely no rule.
Merchman's in the chat room. He says he's in. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you.
So, Juan, do you know anything about, like, once you hear the truck and then you stop them, like Samantha said, then you go get your knives, you bring it out, they sharpen them, you pay, and that's it. That's the transaction over?
Yeah. Yeah, that's and then he'll probably say something along the lines of, "Oh, I'll be back here in a couple of weeks," because
I got
something else sharpened. Or
I got it.
Okay. So they don't sharpen them on the spot. They take them and then deliver them back to you once they're sharpened.
No, they'll sharpen them on the spot.
No, they sharpen them on the spot.
But he's letting you know when he's making his next round.
Your knife is going to get dull again over the course of the next few weeks. I'll be back to sharpen like in a couple of weeks.
So he's kind of urging you, setting you up on almost like a subscription program, and he'll know where his clients will be, so his route will be ready to go.
I've looked up this guy that owns that truck that you just played, and he's been doing it since when he immigrated to Miami at 15 years old by himself.
Yeah, you could drive a truck at 15 in Miami.
He used to do it by foot with a cart. But he does knives and scissors, so he goes to beauty salons, barbershops, restaurants.
Can you get us an interview?
People. I can try for sure.
Yeah, shoot him an email and see if he talk to us.
That guy's a real man. All he does is sharpen knives, and he came over here on a black inner tube with a plywood on top of it.
He learned the tradition at 10 years old from his grandfather.
Oh my God! How do we set up a franchise?
I might be related to that guy.
How do we set up a franchise of this guy in Orlando?
Juan, can we get into the knife sharpening game in Orlando? Because I've never seen a knife sharpening truck, and everything's like moving north right now, so we'll see them soon. But if me and Daniel jump on top of it now,
we do. We got on top of podcasting 11 years ago.
Yes, we got
all y'all MFers said that we were stupid, and we were on top of it.
Yeah.
We are betting once again, and we're gonna hit big that knife sharpening, mobile knife sharpening.
Wait,
Latin mobile knife sharpening. We gotta keep the Latin flavors. If we start whiteifying it, it's gonna be boring.
Yeah. I know where to go too. Like Kissimmee,
Curry
Ford.
Oh yeah,
I know.
You'll be rich.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was thinking about maybe branching
I bet
out.
you could find one of those trucks in Kissimmee.
I was thinking about maybe branching it out for the Whitos of doing mobile gun cleaning.
Oh yeah!
But I don't want to run out to my truck, with their guns.
The problem is those gun guys. They like
to stand and watch.
They like to make videos of themselves cleaning their own guns.
And I think there's it's part of the whole.
They like to stand and watch because they'll be standing over my shoulder and I'm cleaning the gun, and then he's gonna tell me how to do it.
It's the knife sharp. You need to get one of those stones, and then you're like, you know what I'm saying? You rub it super fast.
Your wife can do that, and it's kind of scary when she
I already have the stones, and you guys have the truck, so, bingo,
I've got the stones. You've got the truck. Let's sharpen lots of knives.
We need to get a camper, though, like one of those, the camper top for the back. Because that
Butler's got it. Let's just steal his truck.
No, he's got more of a locksmith,
he's like old grandpa pulls up and pulls out his workbench.
We need you can get inside, and Juan's got his little workbench. And
does he have a roll-up window?
No, it's like a little RV. It's like one of those fifth wheels you put, or like not a fifth wheel, but a camper top. Where it goes above the actual bed of the truck.
Oh, okay,
it fits on the back. There's one door.
Yeah,
it's like a kitchen, but that'll be his business.
Like those cleaners.
Yeah.
That drive around with the big door in the back.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, Juan. Get your stone ready.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
Yeah, get your stone ready.
I hope you guys had a good trip. See you later.
I'm sorry. Are you okay, buddy?
Look, he saw me do the lasso. He knows.
We're sorry. Okay. We love you.
See you, Juan.
Bye. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Did we hurt his feelings?
It's all business.
Sharp. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Butler's in the other room greeting some guests that will be coming up very, very soon. Speaking of guests, we have one on the line, but is there anything we need to handle before we bring this gentleman up?
I'll plug our land cruise, Tom and Dan Land Cruise at Dr. Phillips, their Front Yard Festival location.
It's amazing.
If you go to tomanddanlandcruise.com, I believe this morning there were 6 tickets or boxes left.
Getting tight.
And so it will sell out. So if you want your tickets, and go grab them now, because even if you're hearing this, it may be sold out.
That's true.
I want to thank JustCallMo.com, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and Sports Subaru right in the heart of Orlando, and all of our other gift bag sponsors. Thank you very much for making
you went a
this
little
happen.
crazy with the gift bag.
It's a
we
lot
have
of stuff.
Too much stuff.
Yeah.
In
Our whole
the
office is filled with boxes of stuff that Tom forgot he ordered for the gift bag. So if you have a ticket, getting something cool.
I forgot the pens and like the extra koozies. I forgot I approved those. There's sort of a bunch of stuff just being sent to us.
Just rocketing in here, but
so on the line with us, one of my favorite people because he, like, my wife was so happy because of what he did for me that I mean she's been less harsh of a crow in the past couple of months, and that if you harshen the crow or
don't harsh the crow, bro. They're harshing my crow, bro. That's the funniest thing you've ever done. Write that down as a new shirt. Don't harsh the crow, bro.
Anyway, Chef Pat from Hollowbox. How you doing, Chef Pat?
Guten Tag. What's
Soften
going on,
the
guys?
blow from the crow.
Yeah. Soften the crow.
Guten Tag, moi moi. How are you?
Hanging in, man. It's been a busy couple weeks, so.
And what I'm referencing is, and this actually changed my mood, and made me a happier person, because I saw on, and this is why you should follow Hollowbox on social media, is because you find out all the new stuff. And then I saw that they had white asparagus, a small batch, because I guess the season's coming up in April, but they got in a small batch.
Oh, look at him fanning it out like it's money.
And and then my wife, she fell in love with it in Germany when we were visiting her friend Heidi over there. Yeah. They were staying at the military base in Germany, and like we went to this small cafe and they had white asparagus soup. It was the time of year, I think it was. It's like spring break, and then it was the best soup my wife ever had.
For a vegetarian, that's got to be amazing to find something so.
Well, she likes the flavor of asparagus, and she claims that the white asparagus has the most flavor of all the asparagus.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, we'll just go with
the correct plural for asparagus, Tom, by the way. So
is it?
Asparagus. I know my asparagus.
You are an asparagus.
And but it's hard to get a hold of. And so, Chef Pat, tell us about the process of growing the stuff, because it blew my mind when you were telling me on the Twitch break.
Yeah, so it takes 3 years to grow the German Spargel, Weissspargel, or white asparagus. So they're buried in these mounds, and they're completely covered in dirt. So you'll have these farms with big rows of just these dirt hills. It looks like for acres and acres, but there's these white asparagus growing underneath for 3 years until they get mature. But I think that's why the German asparagus are so much bigger and woodier, is because they give it that time to mature. But that's why it's got so much different flavor. I guess it's like barrel aging almost, but you're still in the ground. But I think it just gives it more flavor. You get the earth tones of where it grows, and it's 100% labor of love thing for those guys.
And
they're really proud of it.
3 years. I've never even heard of a vegetable like with that much harvest time.
So am I correct in saying that I'm going to guess that when they found this, or when they realized it was a natural process that would cover the asparagus, it must have happened naturally, and then they found it. They found this bleached asparagus, and then realized that it had these earth flavors and more nutrients, or whatever you want to say. I might be getting that wrong, but just go with it.
Basically, it absorbed more flavor.
So I'm guessing now, do they use man-made techniques to try and accelerate that? Can it be done, or no?
That I don't know. From what I've heard, the last time I talked to anybody that was any well-versed in the subject, it still took between 2 and 3 years to grow the asparagus from a seed to the actual stalk of asparagus in this application.
I would almost feel bad, like if even having it would make me feel like knowing that I had this, like what you were just holding, Pat, like holding that stalk.
That's what we got. It's a bundle of white asparagus.
You know me really well. That gives me anxiety because of 3 years, and then I have to prepare something with it. There's no way I'd be able to do it without freaking out.
And also, Chef Pat, do you have some available now at Magnolia Square Market?
We do have some available, very limited amounts. What we have, it seemed to be the weekends. We've seemed to be selling out either Saturday evening or early on Sunday. But we're trying to keep as much on hand as we can, without it going bad, because we hate to waste stuff too.
For sure.
But we are planning on, I think the month of April, we'll be doing some specials with the white asparagus, including the white asparagus soup, some entrees, and some appetizers. So like you guys said, keep an eye out on social. We'll be putting those out whenever we have them.
Can you just grill white asparagus like you would asparagus? Can you just do normal asparagus things to it, or no?
My vote would be no, because so realistically, they're more fibrous and more woody. So you guys on Twitch, you can see, if you're just listening, anywhere from about 2 inches from the top of the asparagus back, you're going to want to take a vegetable peeler and peel off the first layer.
Okay.
Because it's very fibery.
Gotcha. That's
almost
perfect.
like if you pull the ribs out of the celery, and you don't want to eat this stuff because it'll get caught in your teeth and in your gullet and stuff like that. But you peel it and then steam it for like a half hour, and it gets nice and tender. Then you go ahead and throw it on the grill or in the broiler, or do what you want to do with it. But you got to cook it a little bit first.
So, Chef Pat, explain the actual, because you need a specific tool to steam this asparagus that steams it from the bottom up. Because the top is super tender. No, the bottom, like the bottom stalk, like regular asparagus, like with the thick part where it starts, it usually cut that part off.
I call that the base.
Yeah, the base is but in
thick base.
In white asparagus,
like a Jack Russell's tail.
Because it's 3 years old or whatever, it has a real thick base, and so you got to steam the hell out of the base.
Oh yeah, that's what I tell her.
But if you steam the top too much, it'll get too mushy. Yeah. So you literally steam it standing up. Like, explain that.
I don't even know how you would do that.
Pat.
So vertically?
So they have almost like pasta cookers in Italian restaurants that sit upright in the pot. They're like two rings, almost like a giant egg ring with a handle that sticks up. And you set them in about this much water, up to, like that 2 inches from the top. And traditionally you season it with like sweet white wine and slices of lemon and white pepper, and you steam it upright, like I said, 35, 45 minutes, depending on how thick your stalk is. And then you take it out. The tops are nice and perfectly steamed. The bottom's cooked all the way through. and top it with some nice hollandaise sauce.
I'm really proud of us. He said a lot of things in there that we could have laughed at, and none of us laughed. We were really into the asparagus. That's a new high for the show.
Chef Pat, I'm curious because you actually you were nice enough to make us
That's so cool.
Some awesome white asparagus soup, and you gave it to me in a to-go quart. A couple quarts, and
you tripped on a fire hydrant. Spilled it everywhere.
It has to do with I'm wondering if a chef would rather someone consume their meal that they cooked sober, and follow me here because.
Oh no!
Well, we actually
we were having such a good interview.
I left Hollabox, which, by the way, it's a better experience than most any restaurant you go to because it is an experience.
This is my theory about the entertainment while you eat. I told you I want to have entertainment while I eat every day.
Yes, because with the entertainment and the
not
vibe,
not TV. That does not count.
What about dinner shows?
Counts.
All the waiters and waitresses. Like I was telling Chef Pat, I'm like, man, this is a family feeling.
It's a vibe, man.
Experience when you come here, and it changed my mood. And then I was drinking, and anyway, when
and you were drinking those big boys, I saw you.
Yeah, we Ubered,
and you were pumping up your arms because your wife was taking pictures of you. You were both horny.
Then I was, wasted, and and then I was. Drinking
that pork shank?
No, I ate the pork shank, but then we got home and then we ate the asparagus soup later on that night.
Oh my God!
But I was
3 a.m.
barely remember and I'm like, that's so good.
That's a German party,
and I think I should have done it sober so I could appreciate it more. Now we had some later on it, but that first time,
my German friends don't do things
wasted.
sober.
I couldn't even remember eating it.
What say you, Pat?
Oh my God,
what say you, Pat?
I don't. Nothing is better sober. So there's that, but enjoy it how you enjoy it. I've had some of my best meals, after hours, after a handful of drinks, and I think your emotions and your senses are so much higher that maybe you enjoy it more when you're
I like that.
a little bit on one.
This guy's taking my rationalization course online.
That's what I'll tell myself. Like, I know
I have to be drunk to eat this.
Even though I have no recollection of it, I know I enjoyed it.
It was delicious. I know it.
I have no memory
on a
of
lefty and have a bowl of soup. You're all good.
If I'm just being honest with you guys, it's a really easy to drink too much, and then while you're drinking too much, tell yourself you're going to eat too much, because then when your wife says something, you can just say, I wasn't thinking. I drank too much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a perfect excuse.
They're hand in hand.
So, Chef Pat, it's springtime right now. What does that mean for Hollabox? I know that, kind of each season you usher in some different, cuisine and some different things.
Add
Obviously,
some new stuff.
We talked about white asparagus. That's unique to to April.
Sure.
Is there
We've
anything
talked
else?
about desserts before that he's brought in that were only going to be done at that particular time, like holiday style.
Yeah, certain spices and things. So what's springtime at Hollabox look like?
Like we already touched on a little bit, the white asparagus, lots of stuff going with that. We just launched a new thing, again, for guys on Twitch, kind of like, your stores are doing in their deli section, meals to go.
What?
We have a smaller selection of Willow Tree food at the market, prepackaged cold to go with heating instructions. So you can just grab Jaeger schnitzel, grab sauerbraten, grab goulash with the sides, and take it home, put it in Chef Mike for 3 minutes, 4 minutes until it's hot, and boom, you got dinner.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, yeah. Because
so I can just breeze in there in less than 10 minutes. I'm out with my food, go home, throw it in the Chef Mike, done.
100%.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's what honestly.
Also, you don't have to be the single guy sitting there while they're singing happy German songs and you're sad. You can take it to go and then hide in your apartment.
Yeah. And like professionally, put together food that all you have to do is warm. That's the route.
Ask for the hungry German meal. That's what they go by.
Oh yeah, like a hungry man. All right, her hungry German meal.
Okay, so hold on. What comes with the hungry German meal?
So each respective one is going to be your protein, and then a veg and a starch. So like the chicken Jaeger schnitzel hungry man we have here, that's got your chicken breast with sauteed mushrooms, onions, and white wine demi-glace, and then red cabbage and our heaven and earth mashed potatoes, which are the mashed potatoes with apples, bacon, and onions.
Oh, I know what they are.
that's one meal. The goulash comes with spätzle and sauerkraut. And then what's the other meal? Sauerbraten. My favorite thing, of course, with the red cabbage and the spätzle as well. And we're going to change that up probably. Maybe we'll do like a pork stroganoff or some sort of little curry geschnitzeltes or something. But wait, we're going to try to keep that as exciting as possible.
You said schnitzel what?
No. Sorry, Chef Pat.
Schnitzeltes.
Oh, okay. I just
anytime someone says stroganoff.
Well, you're stroganoff and Sam is schnitzeltes.
If anybody says beef stroganoff,
he said pork stroganoff, which made you laugh more.
You're beef stroganoff. I'm pork stroganoff, and that's schnitzeltes. I knew we couldn't do it.
If you
I didn't even send beer this time.
I know. It's just we see your faces and we get happy.
Yeah. Also, speaking of like buying a really well-made, professionally made, put together meal for you to just
it makes you not want to cook. It sucks the life out of your creativity. For me, it does.
You start thinking about like how many pots and pans you have to dirty to cook something like this. Like the whole entire kitchen is destroyed. Then you eat a delicious meal, but then you think to yourself, I'm like buzzed and I'm tired. The last thing I want to do is clean up the kitchen. Like I'll pay someone $100 to do that. You know, like then you think, why did I just buy the food and I just get it pre-made and just heat up better than what I could do?
I'm with you. I get into the weeds a lot where I'm reading the recipe that Andrea has given me to cook, right? And it says, cook your protein in this pan, drain, and use different pan for the veg. I'm like, God, no, I like
same pan.
Dump meals all in, or I'll just have Chef Pat cook it. He and his staff do a better job than I could ever do. I'll pick it up.
You're like, I have to reduce these radishes for 3.5 hours so they're going to simmer. Like, who's got the time? Chef Pat, let Chef Pat do it.
Yeah, he's just going to do it better and save you time and effort.
One of my favorite things, real quick, on the pre-made meals, a lot of people don't know, but you can get pre-breaded, uncooked schnitzels at Magnolia Square Market. So that for me, like if I make schnitzel at home, the pain in the butt part for me is, setting up the flour and eggs and breadcrumbs, and then it just makes such a mess when you do that. Even me, who does this all the time,
right?
Like I still make a mess at home just because it's part of the dish. I'll even take them from the market, but we bread them. Like if you say I want 6 schnitzels, you just tell them that. They'll come to the restaurant. We'll bread them for you, put them in a to-go box. Then all you got to do is take them home and fry them yourself. So that takes a lot of your prep work. You don't have to cut the meat. You don't have to waste the flour and breadcrumbs. You don't have to make a mess. All you got to do is waste one pan and fry your schnitzels.
It's really cool that you allow people to do that too, man, because, a lot of restaurants, I feel like sometimes, because you guys are delivering more than just food, I feel because it's an experience, we use that term all the time here. Sure. I feel like there's a lot of restaurants wouldn't have the confidence to say, like, yeah, sure, you can take our stuff home and try to do it yourself, because
but you can't get the experience at home. You have to come to us to get the experience.
100%.
Like I'll give you my recipes. I'll tell you exactly how to do it, but it's just not going to be the same.
It will never be the same. Everybody's got to go down there and check out the rooftop too, because it's ridiculously good.
Really nice.
I took Crystal up there because she hadn't seen the renovation. And I'm like, you have to
trying to get a rooftop.
He was.
I thought there's people that are with the.
That's the most fun when it's a little naughty.
And she was like, oh, she's like, wow,
stroganoff.
Yeah. And then I was like, and she was like, was this here the whole time? Did they buy the bill? I'm like, this was here. And they did it beautifully.
Yeah,
like,
it's phenomenal.
And also, everybody can ask for Tom and Dan pretzel pen.
Mm-hmm.
It's me and Daniel as little German pretzels.
I mean, I kind of feel like the next. Are we gonna do another pen?
We're running low on those again too, guys. So come in and get them. If turnout's been like it has the last few weeks, we might run out this weekend with pints and paws. Because I know BDM show up hella thick to that event.
How quickly can we get 2 little white asparagus running?
Oh, is it white asparagus?
Because it's such a big deal, and it's truly German.
I was thinking, like, we did the sausage. We're going to do a different one. And Eric Pabone, our great friend of the show, artist.
We love him very, very much.
He does the art for these pens. And I was thinking...
Pabone stopped in a couple weeks ago. I got to meet him, actually. So
he's a great guy. And so what should we do? Should we do little Tom and Dan white asparagus?
I think that'd be pretty swell.
All right.
They're
Eric,
pretty neat looking.
If you're listening to this, we need the art by Friday morning. 6 a.m.
6 a.m. early.
6 a.m. If it's not in my box,
hell to pay.
Never
we'll
work
cut off all
town.
the plugs. Yeah. We'll crush you.
I don't know what that means. It's just what I heard people say all the time.
And then we need, like, we'll never run out of like German themed pens, right? Because white asparagus. What will we do next after that? I was thinking of like
Have we done beer yet? We haven't done.
I was gonna say like a beer pint.
Yeah. We haven't done beer yet.
No, you've
beer
just done the
No, it's
sausages.
pretzels and wieners.
Yeah.
We've not done beer yet.
Yeah, we'll do.
Maybe we should go with beer. It's a little more universal than white asparagus.
Yeah, but we can go with beer when it gets around October.
Well, why don't you be a white asparagus and I'm a little beer?
Oh, Chef
Or
Pat.
Tom's a bottle and Dan's a can.
Okay, I like that.
Can we talk about the big anniversary coming up?
Hollerbox 20th birthday, 20-year anniversary. What are we calling it? Something like that. Yeah, August 1st marks our 20th year in business.
Wow.
Yeah.
So some sort or another, we're going to have a celebration. I don't know whether we're going to do an event in the square or whether we're just going to do an in-house event. But once we figure that out, we'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it, of course.
100%.
But I just wanted to congratulate you guys for 20 years.
It's amazing.
And literally, I was talking to Theo, and I was like, man, what you've built here and the community and culture of your business and this restaurant is really amazing. Like,
Yeah.
And
it resonates with our guys for sure.
Yeah.
Like our listener, I've never heard one of them say, like anything bad. They're just like, it's the #1 destination restaurant for our guys.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm glad you brought up Pints and Paul's because that's this weekend. So
Indeed.
You could swing by and even I know outside dining, I don't know how that works as far as like if you have your dog with you, but outside, is that fine?
I thought you were supposed to dress him like a human.
Oh.
So the city of Sanford actually is kind of strict with animals, but we do allow animals on our patio on certain areas, not up on the rooftop because of course you got to come to the inside of the building. But the outside, there are designated areas for pets. I think on Pints and Paul's weekend, sometimes they're a little bit more lenient. But Sanford, there's definitely lots of spots to come out and bring the pups and have some good beer and have a good day.
Just leave your dog in the car. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And whatever you do, don't crack a window. People can steal that dog. What are you, insane?
Yeah.
Have some pride in your animal.
It's fine.
Lock them up.
They're tough.
Yes.
I just put the kids and the dogs in the car and let them wait it out.
I mean, that's what I do.
We did in the 80s.
Yeah. That's what my dad did.
We were fine.
While I was trying to pull that little metal rod that was down and rounded, so I couldn't pull it up, and I'm dying, and I'm trying to pull the little metal ball of my dad's Buick LeSabre up.
I miss the days where you could lock yourself into a car.
I did.
There's no way
I
to
did. I locked myself in the back of my mom's
100%.
car.
Lock should work both ways.
I locked myself in the back of my mom's Maxima with 3 of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and staring at me from the outside was Raphael.
Well, Chef Pat, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon, and I appreciate the white asparagus soup again.
Of course. Thank you, guys. Prost.
All right, Prost, man. We'll talk to you soon. Later. There's our...
Donkey.
What?
Donka. That's bye-bye in German.
Donka is thank you in German?
Oh, okay. It's close.
And you said donkey.
That's what he normally does. Is when people go.
I thought that was
when people normally go, thank you. He goes, bye bye. So he basically. No, wait a minute. If that's the way we end the show,
I don't know, though.
no, he's right. I have to go with Tom on this one. If the way we end the show is bye bye, and he said donka, technically that's correct.
He said donkey.
It's close enough.
It's pretty close. But maybe he was thinking about locking a donkey in a car and leaving it there in the hot sun.
What if you said baby? It's close enough to bye-bye.
Baby, little baby. What are you, Dave Matthews now?
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. And the fish tank, still alive.
Mm-hmm. So
that was a little COVID
You okay?
leftover.
Yeah,
that stuff doesn't linger like that, does it?
I was. It's the Mountain Dew.
Did you go heavy?
Yeah. It's. I was off it for a week, and then now
I
we got back
it.
into. But I wasn't drinking as much as I do here.
I went double on it.
Maybe
that's why my stomach exploded.
There could be.
Could be.
So anyway, this makes me feel like some
natural
normalcy
woman.
is coming back because we're able to talk about Pints and Paul's again.
Yes.
And it's happening this weekend. And Paul Williams and Dustin's in from the West End and Cellars City, of course, and all of Sanford to talk about Pints and Paul's.
Absolutely. What's going on, guys?
How you guys doing?
How's it going?
So
now, normally when you guys come in here, you have an event that you want us to talk about. we mention it at the beginning, then we fumble around with your names or whatever, then we goof around and we make a lot of jokes, and then we hit it again at the end. And you drove all the way from Sanford to do that. So I just want to lay out the guidelines because it always gets brought up at the end of the interview.
Well, let's talk about the beginning then.
Me and Dustin normally have this conversation where he's like, "Yeah, guys, thanks a lot. We did one plug. Then you guys talked about I don't know. I think the last time we were to see if let's test the guy that has no memory.
I remember what it was.
We were talking about the fish and the fish being stunned and dumping them into the
dude. It's usually my fault. I got to be honest with you. My mind.
I like seeing you guys. And then, you guys come in here and you're my friends, and I forget that we have beyond that, we're all trying to make money and live, But I would rather just hang out with you and do shots and talk about stunning fish and then dumping them into a pot.
You talked about Tom's Deltona house for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Still there.
And guess what? We're doing it again. Yeah. We're doing it right now.
Well, let's talk about Pints and Paws. So let's give out all the details. And is there anything new this year? Obviously, because of COVID and stuff, people should be, wearing masks and distancing and stuff like that. I mean, we all know now what we're doing. So I feel like when we talk about an event or everything's under the same. Listen, this is worldwide. Like everybody's doing it safely.
Yeah, you should know.
And so everybody listening to this realizes that it's keep distant from people. Don't spit in their face. Wear a mask, and then enjoy your day.
It's the spit in their face thing that was so hard for me to. I mean,
well, it's hard to get past that.
It is. It is. I feel like
believe me, every day I want to.
Well, they told me that.
Alabama handshake.
I call that the program, which I'm mad because I wanted to do it with my son skiing. I was to hype ourselves up. I was telling Max to spit a loogie in my mouth.
Stop it! It's so disgusting.
So let's talk about Pints and Paws. So what's going on this year?
Where's the loogie tent? Bring your dog by. I'll spit a loogie in your dog's face. We're doing
your
it
dog's
again.
fine. You can spit a loogie in a dog. I'm fine with that.
Can you?
Yeah. They're fine.
I can honestly say I've never spit on a dog.
I've never spit on a dog either.
Yeah. Have there been any dogs that have got COVID and died? I don't think so, right? I haven't heard
lions.
about that. The lions are fine, right?
The COVID?
Yeah, they didn't die.
I think they got it, but one of them still can't taste anything.
Okay, that's fine.
How they know that, I have no idea.
That's gotta be tough for a lion, man.
Yeah, man.
Like it's eating the grass.
I'm like, there's been a dead zebra behind you for 3 days. And you're doing nothing. You're just sitting there playing your Switch.
So, Pints and Paws. So, about the same. We still got the brewery.
It's about the same. Yeah. Okay, so here's. I'll give you the
Pints and Paws. It's about the same.
Things are a little more spread out.
Yeah,
we have a little more room. We're releasing fewer tickets. We're gonna ask people wear a mask if they're not sampling. Stay apart from each other. Obviously, plenty of hand sanitizer. So all that stuff will be out there, but be respectful of others.
And it's outdoors. Anybody who's gone to Pints and Paws, you'd be fine. And also it all helps a great cause too, which I feel like, and I've heard this places that a lot of charities were really hurt by COVID, obviously, because all their events and all their revenue that they would do to raise money for their charity dried up because they had a hard time doing any of these things. And then
charities have a tendency to really suffer when we're all suffering, because you don't have the opportunity to think of those that have less than you have.
Well, also it's not on people's minds because everybody's doing and worrying about obviously
most charity money's event driven, and when there's no events, there's
Yeah, exactly.
And so not to mention even animal type stuff. I mean, that's a whole different lane.
Yeah.
Because I know we do both. We do some kid stuff that we like to do with Yellow Brick, and we like to do some animal stuff too.
Yeah.
Normally that's what we're around,
So let's talk about the charities that Pints and Paws helps.
We have Pet Rescue by Judy. They're brick and mortar pet rescue right there in downtown Sanford.
Forever.
They are great. They take in a ton of pets. They're very active. In fact, which is pretty cool, we have a presenting sponsor this year, Houndstown USA, and I've got them hooked up, and they're going to work with Pet Rescue by Judy, taking in extra. If they have too many in intake, they're going to know,
oh, that's cool.
provide them a place. So it's
give them a little
awesome.
relief.
Yeah, because they get full a lot.
Yeah,
you know, so
having some overflowers, having some other people that can help or foster is fantastic. Sure.
And have they been taking in more greyhounds because the industry has dried up? You know, they were bulldozing the dog track.
I
bet you.
Oh my God!
Make sense, though.
I didn't even think about that.
Dude,
yeah,
because
that's a question I'll ask. Yeah,
I drove by the old dog track, and they're bulldozing it down. I was like, man,
I hope the dogs weren't in there. My God, get them all out.
Or just
they're covered with the bulldozers. My God,
let's just end this all today.
Oh my God,
man!
I'm just saying, like
it ends today.
If you wanted to erase all memory of it, you just put it in all the cages.
I'm envisioning the never-ending story, the nothing just coming in.
It's just like, let's just pretend like we never did
that
this.
was the day the breed ceased to exist.
But anyway, so
there's millions of their souls buried down there.
Paul, not to switch total gears, but let's talk about.
I don't know even where we're at. This thing doesn't have gears; it's a scooter.
Okay, let's talk about your colon clean.
What?
Because I need to do this.
You need a doodle.
No, I need a colon clean.
What does that have to do with the pints and pots? They don't have a tent down there.
No, I know, but I feel like there's a lot of poison in there that needs to be out. Because this may be too much
information. It's like an old paint bucket. You let it dry in there.
Yeah, you don't. Yes.
You let it dry in there. It doesn't matter. You have to end up chipping that stuff out, man. That's why you got to rinse it like immediately following painting.
You know, like a 1980s Super Soaker, like the big orange with the big green tank right there. You know how you pump it, and you empty the giant tank. But if you shake it around, there's always water inside. Like even the gun itself, there's water inside.
This thing's not efficient at all.
That's what's happening to me, but it's doo-doo.
Momentarily, I thought you were about to ask me if it was a good idea to shoot a Super Soaker episode.
No, we can't say that.
That's okay.
No, it's
right. The theme of the day.
No. Well, that's basically what they do, right? But with a robot.
No, I've had this. Okay, now
it's a medical robot. Super Soaker.
I don't know if I had this done, but I had something called, and I'm going to be very clinical, an impaction, where they took what appeared to be Fairvilla's finest with a garden hose attached to it, and they did things, and then I was okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that what you
I've
had?
seen that.
Okay, no, I didn't do that. So,
yeah, mine was just like a wand. Mine is very
okay. It is like a little wand. It looks like a water pick, or like it's like a piece of plastic that's
like an electric toothbrush or something.
Kind of that size, yes.
All right, like a Sonicare or a Quip.
They spread a little
like a Quip
lube on the end of it. And you got to insert it 1 inch into yourself.
Okay, and then
the water's gravity fed.
Okay. And
hey, when Tom talks about a lot of doo-doo stuff, he turns into a cartoon fish.
I turned into
the cool thing is, the cool thing about it is,
Chewbacca.
The exit tube is clear, so you get to watch. What's coming out.
Where have they cut all this out?
I don't know.
That's
if we can
cut
use
out.
any
I don't. There's no FCC anymore. That's what Jack
they
Bradshaw
flushed it
told
all
me.
out. Yep.
Jack Bradshaw told me that. I want to be the person that invented this machine, but did it with you couldn't see through the pipe. And then threw out.
Well, it used to be just a window, so you'd have to catch it. It's coming back out. It's gone. It's like NASCAR.
I want to be the person that decided in the meeting that the whole pipe should be see-through because it's more entertaining for the clients.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They like that.
Well, why don't they just tape it across your eyes like VR so you can see everything passing by?
Or why don't play a trick where you have someone on one end, or
just start feeding a fake blood,
or like different things like a little rubber ducky. You're like, what was that?
Wads of bubble gum.
Yeah. Oh, that's a packet of fire sauce.
Kinder Egg.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy
Why does
stuff.
it sell the foil?
A little green army man.
Is that an apple?
Yeah, I like that.
Does it make you feel better after, Paul?
Dude, I feel amazing. I'm a little I feel like after a massage, like massage drunk,
you
got it done today?
Relaxed. I just came from the place.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's why I backed our meeting up an hour.
He asked me if I wanted to go with him.
You could have told him.
I think someone did that earlier in our studio.
Yeah,
don't talk about it.
Our fish guys came to clean the fish tank, and Butler went in there and diarrheaed it crazy. And then the fishermen were cleaning it, and they had to sit through it.
It's real bad. Anyway, so
I'll get you the number, Butler.
Yeah. What does that cost nowadays?
It was like $80.
Oh my God, that's cheaper than a massage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes, like a massage. So it was at a place where there was massage also.
Oh,
so
wait a minute.
It was like a full wellness clinic.
Oh, do you have to ask for that? Do you have to so you were getting a massage and then you put your money in the boot and then the lady
it was a different room. Yeah.
She's like, you want? She's holding a wand. You want the wand?
Yeah.
I don't think I can make that voice anymore.
What would they do for the
there were
extra
no Asians,
tip? Anyway, so
moving on.
Yeah. For I feel like for $80, that
I think that's a
service,
great price.
What do you get that done every 6 months? How long does it take?
How long
Like 2
does it
years?
last? It's like that rap they do.
That was the first time I ever did it, but she said people vary. People come once a year. There's some people that go once a week.
Once a week? That's too much.
That seems.
Well, hold on. We narrowed
overkill.
it down to a teeth cleaning every 6 months, right?
like
That's a public safety. So it's like, should that be every teeth cleaning schedule?
Okay, I put it in the
I feel
same.
like that gets dirtier than their teeth.
I think that's like a metro.
Right?
Okay, follow me with this.
How much?
If I were like an entertainer and my body were tip top, let's say
like
a
an
sex
athlete.
worker, an athlete or something, but I'm thinking more sex worker where you're doing more stuff where people see it, like where you're showing more skin. I think it would be advantageous for your body's figure, your shape, your well-being, your health to keep everything, at all times.
I would assume like celebrities and stuff do this all the time,
to
like
thin out, to
several
look good,
times a week. Yeah,
healthy.
You go into the sauna, you get the wand, like you do the whole.
I sat in the salt room while I was waiting for my appointment.
I don't understand the salt room. I sat in a salt room one time, and they're like, "Can you feel the salt?" And I'm like, I don't know. I look like I'm sitting in a white cave, and nothing was happening. What was it supposed to do?
It's all the mineral stuff.
It's supposed to be good for your lungs and
you know what's funny is that all of us we all say when it comes to any health product, all of us say it's supposed to do. We're all supposed to do. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's some of it's probably BS, but whatever.
The mineral, the wand, it makes sense because it's
the
like
wand does make sense.
You got the thing and you got stuff in there.
Yeah. No, I
get it out of there.
I saw proof.
Yeah, I've used a pressure washer before. I've seen the sidewalk afterwards, or at least if I drew a D on there.
It's like you clean your garage out. You see the difference, right?
Correct.
If you just throw some minerals in there, not doing nothing.
Yeah, and you're making me snort them. I'm lazy. Put the minerals in my nose.
Can't you just get a bidet and turn the pressure up really high, though, and then you do it every day?
It's not the same. So you've spoken like somebody that doesn't know their ass from a hole in the wall. Why would you say that? You're insulting.
They use coffee, too.
I don't understand that.
There's some coffee involved in some of them where...
That keeps you, it like invigorates you.
No, that absorbs the toxins. There's a whole toxin.
I thought
are we talking about...
Huh? Yeah, there's a coffee
one.
There's
a coffee one, and they even I have a coffee shampoo that has caffeine in, and it's supposed to wake my head up. I'm serious. My wife bought it for me. It's all nonsense. It's some Target garbage called like Simple Man Jack. Or Every Man Jack, that's what it's called. And my wife bought it for me. It's like, with activated charcoal and caffeine. It's to wake your hair follicles up.
Ooh, I know what I want to talk about. Golf carts.
We're all over the place.
Well, they got good golf. These guys are good golf carters.
Name this segment "Golf Carts and A-holes."
Golf carts and farts. Carts and farts.
So Daniel is contemplating gifting me.
No, I already gave it to you.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know if it was like
it's a done deal.
Because sometimes we say stuff in the show, and then after I'm like, should I bring it up because I really want it?
I want you
to the show.
My mom
and
then
I'm embarrassed. I'm like, hey, were you? And you're like, no.
No, my mom and dad would want nothing more than for you to have their monster truck golf cart. Seriously.
So
it's not a great one. It needs a little help, but it's a good. It's a shell, and he's got what he needs, and it just got brand new batteries, and that's the most expensive part.
The last time
it is.
I was in Sanford about 2 weeks ago, and I started looking around, and it dawned on me. I was like, this is turning into the Key West of Central Florida, right? Like this
party town.
is because there's not like most of the bars and restaurants are like independently owned, and they all have their own cool style and vibe, and personality.
They're very unique and mom and pop, and
I saw golf carts parked everywhere and stuff, and people are driving their golf carts around, and I'm like,
cool, isn't it?
This town is being built, and partly because of you, Paul.
You're obsessed with miniature vehicles, and you've wanted one for years. He's wanted like a scooter, a miniature dirt bike. What's it? Go-kart. He has been obsessed with miniature vehicles since we've known each other, but he has yet to ever pull the trigger on one. That's why I'm gifting you the golf cart.
It's a lifestyle of driving around golf carts to your like bars and restaurants. I mean,
it is. I'm going to tell you what it's like. This is the perfect analogy.
All right.
When you have a golf cart and you get to live, work, and play in it. When you get in the car, it's the same as if you wear flip-flops all the time and someone tells you have to do something where you have to put on shoes and you're like,
oh my God, they're the flip-flops of cars.
Yeah. They're the flip-flops of cars.
That's the best thing you've ever said. Does it make you mad when you get in your car?
No, just like if you haven't gotten in for a few days, you've been doing everything on the golf cart because you just slide in and slide out. It's you're a little pissed. You're a little bit put out.
Dude,
okay,
that's my. You know how mad I was in Colorado. I had to put on shoes.
Oh, he was so quiet. He barely said a word the whole time.
Mad. Made me quiet and mad.
Okay,
shackles.
No, you know what it is. You know what Tom is with shoes? He's like when you put shoes on a dog. He just stands still for the rest of his life. He'll never move for the rest of his life. He'll stand there with his shoes on and die there.
And then I walk with my feet flinging out.
He hates it.
Trying to flick
hates it.
Every stride, I'm trying to flick my shoes off. And I hate it, and it makes me mad.
At least snowboard, he moves. He's okay with that.
So golf carts are the flip-flops of cars. I totally understand it because you just jump in.
Perfect sense.
You don't have to turn it off. It turns off itself.
Yeah.
And your face is your toes, is the air through your toes, through your face, same thing.
Yeah. And you're drunk all the time. There's no rule. You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to say that part. Fine print.
Who's going to stop you? The police?
You guys should come and do a show on the golf.
Yeah. We've done a Surrey bike before.
Oh, man, was that a disaster?
Yeah, that was a disaster.
Now, can I make it? How can I make it from my house to Sanford?
In a golf cart.
Can I drive down 1792? That's not
sidewalk. You got to go sidewalk.
Because you got to go 35 miles. Because when you make them street legal, the only rule is you got to stay on roads that are 35-mile-an-hour roads.
Is that
okay, I got a story. Last week, so I have a golf cart rental business up in Sanford.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you go,
I'm sitting there, my phone starts blowing up, and it's a picture of this guy, and he's over on 46 over by BJ's, which is like, I don't know, 3 miles out of the legal zone.
How did he get
46?
Why? Why? Okay, you rented a golf cart to go to BJ's. But anyways, people were just like, "Did you see one of your golf carts is over here by BJ's?" Like
he's getting some toilet paper.
Why would you drive your golf cart to BJ's down 46?
Because even when I'm driving my golf cart, I need a bucket of pickles.
I was trailering my boat down 46, and I was sketchy.
Really needed that 10-gallon bucket of sunflower seeds.
Do you have to go get that guy? Do you have to go like?
We call him like, man, you gotta get the cart back. Like, well, I don't know where you are now, but like, you're not where you're supposed to be.
Did he make it back?
Yeah, we got it back.
So if you, because this is all along the same lines as I'm talking about, and I literally was texting Paul about this. I was like, man, I bet you staying in an Airbnb, because Samantha did this the other day where she was Sanford and like she went up, stayed in an Airbnb for 2 days, hit up all the great bars and restaurants in Sanford, drive around a golf cart, rent one of Paul Williams' golf carts. Like, that's a awesome weekend, and that's why I call it the Key West of Central Florida, because that's what you would do if you like went to Key West. You would just bar hop on like a golf cart or scooter or whatever the hell. Like, it's the same vibe. And like when, like, I know, Paul, you've been building up Sanford, and like a bunch of people have been involved, and and I feel like we hadn't mentioned this, but a good friend of ours, Jeff Triplett, passed away, and it's super sad, and my condolences go out to his family, because he really was an awesome guy. He was
at our foot golf tournament and talking to us
and
right before God, that was right before the pandemic, right?
Yeah. It was like literally a month before.
Yeah, it was a month before.
And it was super sad when I saw him pass, because I know he was pretty pivotal into building up Sanford as well too. Absolutely. And he wanted to see it thrive. But I feel like it's there, and your vision is what, like, compared to like 10 years ago, Paul, like this is what your vision was, right?
Yeah, the room's starting to get tied together, like getting all the pieces and parts. It's really cool to see like the small town, and then you start getting things that are a little bit more bougie that you'd only see in like bigger cities. You get the the massage therapy places and the better restaurants and stuff like that. And you're like, oh man, it's really happening.
It's thriving. Yeah.
So
it's
cool.
Like, people are enjoying it.
People are moving there, and people are starting to buy places there. They want to live there.
More of my friends that lived in Orlando have moved to Sanford than the ones that I know a lot than stayed. I have a lot of buddies that have moved to the Sanford area and then kind of eking down a little bit more into Volusia County.
Well, I look at it too. Like if you were, going for a weekend and to bar hop and restaurant hop, like I couldn't think of a better place to go. And like
I think Sanford's even better than Orlando now.
Yeah,
as far as like the close knit.
I agree.
You can hop around.
Well, you can't even compare the downtowns, and that's not a knock. It's just
parking's better.
They're not the they're just not the same. Like one is quaint, one has more of a Key West Savannah feel.
Yeah.
One is I don't know. It's got to find.
It's a regular city. It's a bigger city.
Yeah, but it'll find its way. Everything evolves and changes, but it's just Sanford's killing it right now.
And our music scene totally competes with Orlando too.
Sometimes better.
Absolutely.
You guys book some stuff that I'm like, all right. They could have gone to Orlando, but they didn't.
The venues, the festivals, Porch Fest, and that's an awesome event. And like I'm telling you, man. Like I look at it in a short time, it's going to be where people are going to be like, we have to go to Sanford. And
it's to stay on that subject for a second, though.
Please.
It's going to get even better with the shows as they come back. We remodeled our venue at West End. It's awesome. Ready to go. And then Tuffy's has a bigger venue down the street. So we're going to see some shows come through Sanford that you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's coming through Sanford. I think we're gonna compete like with Orlando now, because they've got a 500 person venue down the street.
Yeah,
we have the 300 person venue right there. Like we're gonna get a lot of shows.
And you have something Sanford. I really like. You have water. And I like being near the water.
Oh, it
just adds to it. I'm not a knock. I'm just saying, when you're walking around there, you don't even need to go to a bar. You can just walk down by the water with your wife and have just as good a time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not with my wife, but
geographically, Sanford does have a lot to offer as far as, there's an airport, there's major thoroughfares, there's railway, there's water, there's everything there. So it would be hard to replicate.
It was the original heart of Central Florida. We talked about that in we
learned that from our Greenwood Cemetery tours.
So anyway, it's Pints and Paws this weekend. You're telling everybody get their tickets early, right? Online.
Yeah.
Limited.
The VIP is getting closer to sold out. So get on there, jump on there, grab them. www.pintsandpaws.com.
There you go.
That'll take you wherever you want to go.
We're going to have our merch tent out there. Eric is going out, and he's got Tom and Dan dog leashes for sale at our tent, and a bunch of free giveaways, and he'll have some hats and stuff out there. So
Indeed.
Eric will be out there selling that stuff.
Cool.
So it's, again, check out Pints and Paws. Guys, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We actually did a decent job this time.
I'll bring my golf cart once Daniel gives it to me.
It's yours. You just got to go pick it up. It doesn't have tires.
So I'll drive it from
I didn't tell you that part.
That's fine. No tires. No big deal. All right. Bye-bye.